Believing in yourself and your ability to succeed. As a way of solidifying our strengths in our minds as an integral part of ourselves, it can be essential to begin to make lists of the things that you like about yourself and the special talents you have and the activities that you do well. When you find yourself feeling insecure, think back to the list of your great qualities in order to receive a boost of confidence. These reminders are very helpful when we are feeling insecure. Read until you're back to feeling great about yourself. Don't be afraid to give yourself a compliment every once in a while. It's always good to have a good relationship with yourself. Understanding that we all have our own individual strengths is a crucial part of maintaining high self-confidence. It can be very defeating to live our lives in the shadows of other people who we deem more qualified than we are to succeed at the things that we care a lot about. But when we are able to look at ourselves honestly and recognize our strengths, it helps us to build the confidence we need to go far. Sure, we all hate it when other people are too full of themselves. Sure, they might have a few strengths, but when they think the entire world revolves around them and nobody else can compare, it can be very off-putting. But see, there is a secret behind that inflated ego that they don't want anybody else to know about. Behind every narcissist is a very insecure and scared person who feels as if they will never measure up to the people around them. In fact, you probably have more genuine self-worth than the people who brag all the time have. Even if they really pull off the facade and act very self-interested and entitled, there is something fundamental lacking in them. They are not generally happy and satisfied people, and those who are and just act immodestly are few and far between. That doesn't make them any less insufferable, but it does go to show us a thing or two about self-confidence. Being appreciative of your positive qualities is not a bad thing, and having faith in your abilities and confidence in your work is even better. It doesn't become a bad thing unless you begin to believe that you are somehow infallible and you refuse to learn from your flaws and mistakes. If you aren't trying to improve yourself, it's likely because you're trying to prove yourself. And people who are too focused on proving themselves can never be truly happy. The only person you have to prove yourself to is you. That's the only way you will ever truly feel satisfied in life. Once you know what your flaws are, you will be able to build them into strengths. It's good to realize that you're not perfect. If you don't, you stay stuck in a rut. Also, it's good to realize that being imperfect isn't the end of the world. It's simply an opportunity to improve. On the other side of the coin, you are born with strengths and a natural ability to move forward in the direction you feel the most passion. When you know your strengths and you know what you're good at, do whatever you can to learn as much about your passions as possible. Before you know it, you will be able to hone your craft and will honestly be able to look at yourself and say, I am very good at this, without sounding like you are bragging to yourself. Because you know how true it is, and it's very likely that other people will know how true it is as well. We were told from a young age that it isn't good to brag, but nobody tells us the difference between bragging and having faith in ourselves and our abilities. We should do our best to stay in touch with our strengths and move forward rather than getting stuck in a rut because we have lost sight of the things that make us proud to be who we are. Learning as much as you can is a great way to improve your confidence and feel more capable. No matter what it is that you are learning about, it gives us a sense of purpose to have a better understanding of the world around us. Not only are we better motivated, but it will help us to succeed more easily than we might think at first. When the brain is focused on one specific problem or goal, the way it processes and filters information becomes a little bit different. Instead of storing it away as irrelevant or simply whimsical or interesting, our brain puts a new spin on the information we feed to it. The brain takes a piece of information and determines how it can be applied to the project or goal that we are working on. We suddenly begin to see solutions and connections where we didn't see anything at all before. Our brain works for us to connect information and help us to use it to solve problems and expand the possibilities of the task in hand. The things we are capable of as human beings are extraordinary, and we have a very wonderful asset right at our fingertips. If we exercise our ability to feel confident in ourselves, it is so much easier to be confident. It has even been proven that confidence-building exercises in people who suffer from COPD motivated them to increase their motivation to exercise. Although the results were short-term for this group, it still holds to reason that confidence building and motivation are intrinsically linked, and with the confidence in ourselves that allows us to believe that we are able to succeed, we also find ourselves motivated to try. Combining the information covered in this section and the previous section of the course, you should have all the tools you need to begin a journey of self-awareness that will give you the power to believe in yourself. The only way we will ever get anything done in this lifetime is by forming healthy habits and staying motivated to move forward, simply because we believe that we can. When we believe we can do something, we are putting the fuel in the fire so that we are able to point out our destination and head there.